Chapter 12 Confidence, Lypye's Perspective. A few weeks had gone by and Jasmine's confidence and ignorance had skyrocketed. She hadn't called off of work again, but she started speaking her mind. I've always wanted her to do so, but it's going to get her in trouble at work. Kelly was clinging to me more than ever. Both of us were happy that Jazz was becoming more invested in Kelly, but her sudden shift in personality and style was frightening the toddler. The three of us had gone to the mall after Jasmine's early work shift. Kelly was playing in a jungle gym in the center of the mall with a couple other kids her age. Jazz and I were sitting on the bench off to the side. I was wearing a long, loose orange tank top, black jean shorts that went halfway down my thigh, white socks, and black sneakers. Jazz was wearing a black spaghetti strap top, black leggings, white socks, and black sneakers. My really long black hair was in a side braid, while Jazz's long, dirty blonde hair was down. Is there a reason Kelly doesn't trust me? Jazz asked me. I looked over at her suspicious look. I sighed. Have you tried asking her? She doesn't want to be near me, she mumbled. Of course she does, I reassured. She's just uncertain. Within a day, you changed your style, gained a more confident personality, and changed up your whole routine. She might think that she doesn't know who you are anymore. She gave me a very chilling smirk. Maybe I'm finally embracing the real me. I looked away from her. This isn't her. Ever since the night with Kate Coon. Does she know? No. Maybe it's just me being paranoid. Finding out she was a supermodel has put me on edge. I guess that's the same feeling the mortals get when someone hears my name. What do you want from me? She snapped. I looked over at her, irritated. You call me a terrible mother for being at work more than being with my daughter. Then you're indirectly telling me I'm a bad mother because my more confident self that's spending time with her is scaring her. I'm no longer saying that you're a bad mother. I sighed. She liked the former puzzle nights where you two sat down and calmly and talked, almost like a therapy session. Nowadays, you always have a smart-ass remark for everything. You tend to belittle your daughter and mess with her mentality. Jazz slapped me hard across the cheek. I rubbed my cheek and she yelled, Are you saying I abuse my daughter? Are you fucking stupid? Anyone within close proximity to us, including Kelly and her friends, looked at us. I stared at Jazz in shock. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Kelly jogging up to us. She was wearing purple shorts, a light blue tank top, pink sneakers, and white fingerless gloves. Is everything okay? Kelly asked nervously. Jazz grabbed Kelly's arm tightly and yanked Kelly towards her, causing her to scream. Sarah thinks I'm a terrible mother, like always. I tried to pull Jazz's hand away from Kelly's arm. And you're proving my point by hurting your daughter. Jazz looked over at Kelly, who was in tears. She let go of her and pushed my hand back. Her anger quickly changed to shock as she realized what she had done. Kelly ran away from her and hid behind me. You're scaring her, and now you've hurt her. This isn't you. The Jazz I know would never act like this to or around her daughter. I turned around and picked up Kelly, then faced Jazz, holding Kelly on my hip. What's going on? Jazz backed away from us, then ran out without a word. Kelly cried. I walked with her outside the mall. I'm going to see if I can get Jay to come over. I sat down on a bench outside, sitting Kelly next to me. I took a deep breath and called Jagwerye. Hello? I heard her say softly. Hey, I need... I glanced at Kelly, then took a shaky breath, choosing my words carefully. If Jay is there, could you please tell her to meet Kelly and I at Eastern Cassian Mall outside the entrance? There was a short pause. I will be there in a few minutes. I am checking out at one of the clothing stores in the back of the mall. She hung up and I hugged Kelly. Kelly climbed into my lap, then hugged me back. We waited for about 5 minutes before Jagwerye, disguised as Jay, walked over wearing a pink sundress and pink flats. Her long brown hair was pulled into a high ponytail. Kelly looked over at her. What happened? She asked calmly. Kelly climbed off of my lap and stood in front of Jagwerye. Mommy hurt me. Jagwerye kneeled down on both knees, sitting on her legs. How? Kelly showed her arm, which was starting to bruise. She grabbed my arm really tight and pulled on it. I don't think Jazz was thinking at the moment, I muttered. You should have seen the look on Jazz's face when I told her she was hurting her. Jagwerye exclaimed and examined Kelly's arm. Regardless, we cannot let this go unchecked. If something like this happens again, let me know. We may have to remove Jasmine from the house. No! Kelly yelled. I dropped to one knee and touched Kelly's shoulder lightly. Jay might have a point. I know. Kelly pushed my hand away from her and ran away from us towards the parking lot. I quickly stood up and ran over to her, grabbing her by the waist right before she hit the parking lot. A second later and she would have been hit by a car. I quickly ran with her back to Jagwerye, setting her in front of me. Are you insane? I yelled. Kelly was speechless and in tears. She put her hands over her eyes. Sighing, I kneeled down and hugged her. I glanced at Jagwerye. Jay, could you do me a favor? She nodded. What is it? Whenever you're not busy, could you stop by Jazz's work and keep an eye on her? I asked. Do you think that she might be hiding something? She questioned. I paused. Jazz is a supermodel and I'm scared she somehow found out. I don't know. With a sudden change in attitude, I'm scared she'll hurt someone. She nodded. Text me her schedule. I will do it. Chapter 13. Fight. Pantherye's perspective. Jagwerye had asked me to stop by Cat's and Mart to check on Jasmine. It was like I was seeing a whole new cat human. She had on black skinny jeans, black slip-resistant shoes, and an orange work t-shirt. Her t-shirt was tied with a black hair tie to make it tighter. Her hair had a lot of volume and was well brushed. I was in my disguise form, Pam Palmer. I was wearing black jean shorts, a bright red tank top, red sneakers, and white socks. My really curly red hair stuck out in a frizzy mess from under my favorite red and white beanie. I pretended to look through a few phone chargers while glancing at Jasmine from time to time.
Did you need any help today?
I heard behind me. I turned around to see a middle-aged guy in a work uniform. I recognized him as the manager. His name tag said Christopher. No, just looking at the moment, I admitted. He narrowed his eyes, glancing quickly over to Jasmine. Oh, yeah, Jasmine and I used to go to school together, I told him. He paused for a moment.
Do you ever hang out with her?
Not often. My friend, Syara, is around her a lot more than I am.
Oh, you know her sister?
He exclaimed.
Has she said anything?
Why are you asking? I questioned, crossing my arms.
I know, as her manager, it may seem out of place, but as her stepfather, I'm concerned.
He admitted. I shrugged. She's mentioned that she has a newfound confidence.
She's very defiant.
He told me.
I'm close to firing her. I really don't want to fire my stepdaughter, especially knowing that she's a single mom, but she's pushing her luck. I've given her more chances than I should have.
He sighed.
I wish someone would give her a wake-up call.
Could you be any more rude? We heard Jasmine yell. We looked over to see Jasmine helping an older lady and another lady around Jasmine's age. Excuse me? The younger lady exclaimed. My apologies that I can't ring up and bag over 50 items in less than 2 minutes. I can hear your snide remarks. If you're in such a hurry, don't get this much stuff. Jasmine snapped. That is no way to speak to your elders. The older lady yelled. Jasmine crossed her arms. You really think you deserve respect because you're old? You don't deserve respect, you earn it. If you can't respect me, why the fuck should I respect you? Christopher rushed over to Jasmine.
Jazz, go on break. I'll take over the order.
But...
Now what?
He said through clenched teeth. Jasmine got off of her register, glanced at me, then began walking towards the break room. If you ask me, that bitch deserves to be fired. The younger lady told the older lady. I felt the gust of the wind as Jasmine rushed past me and punched the younger lady in the face. And you and this grandma need to be taught some manners. I ran behind Jasmine and grabbed both of her wrists, pinning them behind her. She stomped on my foot hard, catching me off guard and causing me to let go. She turned around and used her powers to throw me into some stacked cans. I and all the surrounding customers and associates stared at her in shock. I'm the one who told her to hide her powers. She just exposed herself in front of a couple dozen mortals. I quickly scrambled to my feet and ran out of Catsy Mart, going around to the back. I pulled out what appeared to be a red baton. I convinced Mom to put a spell on the batons to let us transform into any of our god clothes. We just need to picture them. They're tied to us, so we can't use another god's baton. She and I made 5. Red for me, blue for Hyena, yellow for Kekone, white for Jagwerye, and black for Lypye. We were the 5 gods, usually on Karth in disguise. Transform! I yelled. My beanie disappeared, my tank top turned into a red t-shirt, my shorts turned into dark red running shorts, and my red sneakers turned into black ones. If I want to go back to Pam, I just have to yell undo. Running back into the store, I spied Jasmine backed up against the wall by the bathrooms in shock. I ran up to her and pulled her hands behind her back. Turning her around, I put the handcuffs that neutralize all powers on her wrists, then quickly dragged her outside the store. Christopher followed us.
Please don't arrest her.
Christopher pleaded.
I don't know what's wrong with her, but she's not normally like this.
I'm taking her to a holding cell. I will call her sister and have her bring Jasmine's daughter. Yes, we know of her family. This is not the first time she's had to confess to a member of the Syara team. I told him. The 4 of us will be talking together. Do me a favor. Don't fire her just yet. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Jasmine and I sat across from each other in the police's interrogation room. They thought that would be a better area than a jail cell, being that there's more room. Jasmine, I started. Tell me what's going on. She shrugged. Nothing. Syara told me that she's worried about you and you're scaring Kelly. Jagwerye actually told me that. And your stepfather is not only close to firing you, but is also worried about you. Like I told Syara, maybe I've finally become the real me, she replied. It's normal for you to punch a customer? I asked, crossing my arms. Look, assaulting the customer may have been too far, but they 100% needed to hear the truth, she responded. We heard the door to the room open. Lypye, disguised as Syara, and Kelly walked in. Kelly ran up to Jasmine, and I walked over to Lypye, pulling her into the hallway, then closed the door. We need to talk, I told her in a hushed tone so she would be the only one to hear me. She crossed her arms. What's going on? Why is she here? She started a fight with a customer at work, I admitted. A physical fight. Her crossed arms loosened as she started looking nervous. Is she going to stay here? I need to speak to her away from the mortals. I started pacing. Even in my disguise form, I still have my god powers. Jasmine stomped on my foot hard enough that it hurt, causing me to drop my guard, and pushed me across the store into some cans with her powers. She stared at me in disbelief. Jas would never. Are you calling me a liar? I grumbled. No, she mumbled. I grabbed her shoulders tightly. Is Jasmine possibly the super immortal we're looking for? She smacked my hands away. What? No! Lypye, I warned. Are you calling me a liar? She threw back at me. She and I stared at each other for a while. At this point, it was unclear as to whether Jasmine was the super immortal or not. One thing was certain. She was hiding something from me. She knew more than what she was letting on. I'll talk to Jas at home. I'm not really a fan of this place, Lypye stated. I nodded. I'll talk to Christopher about giving Jasmine another chance. Thank you. Oh, and Pantherye? Yeah? I asked. I promise that I will get to the bottom of whatever is going on with Jas, she stated.